But then I found a note under my door that said, "You hear her now, don't you?" I don't know how to start this without sounding insane. Maybe I already am. Maybe you'll read this and think I'm just another liar trying to scare strangers online. I get it. I would think that too. But I don't want to scare anyone. I just want it to stop. I want it all to stop. It started 3 weeks ago when my upstairs neighbor died. She wasn't someone I knew well. An old woman, quiet, frail, never left her apartment unless it was Sunday. I only ever heard her when she dragged her metal walker across the floor at night. She always moved at 3:17 a.m. every single night. I remember because I used to check the clock, annoyed every time I heard her. Then it stopped. At first, I didn't think anything of it. Maybe she moved. Maybe her family took her to a care home. It was a peaceful kind of silence. But then I found a note under my door. It was written in shaky cursive. The paper smelled like dried roses and mildew. All it said was, "You hear her now, don't you?" I stared at it for a long time. No name, no explanation, just that question. That night, I woke up at exactly 3:17 a.m. The sound came from upstairs, but it was different now. It wasn't a walker anymore. It was something dragging itself, a scraping sound, wet, like something heavy being pulled across the floor. No footsteps, no wheels, just the drag. I didn't sleep after that. I tried to tell the building manager the next day. He looked at me straight in the eye and said, "There's no one living upstairs." I told him that wasn't possible, that I had heard her every night for months. He just shook his head. "She passed away 2 weeks before you moved in." No, that wasn't true. I had heard her after I moved in, every night, unless I tried ignoring it. Earplugs, sleeping pills, nothing helped. At 3:17 a.m., I would always wake up, and the dragging would begin. Louder now, closer to my ceiling. I swear, some nights I could hear breathing, wet, rattling, just above my bed. And then came the second note. "Why me?" It was written in the same shaky handwriting as the first note, but this time, my name was scrawled underneath the ink that looked like it had been smeared by fingers. Nora. I didn't tell anyone about the notes. Who would even believe me? I started recording at night, trying to catch the sounds, but every time I played it back, it was just silence, or worse, static, like something was blocking out the sound. I knocked on the ceiling one night, just to see what would happen. I heard it knock back. 3 slow, heavy knocks. And then something whispered from the vents. "Why me?" It didn't sound angry. It just sounded sad, like a cry that had been echoing for years, waiting for someone, anyone to answer it. I didn't know what to say. I couldn't speak. I just stood there, frozen, waiting for the whisper to come again. But it didn't. Instead, the lights flickered, the walls groaned, and then my phone vibrated. I don't remember putting my number anywhere. I don't remember setting up the notifications for whatever app this was, but there it was. A message on a screen I didn't recognize. A message that read, "You heard her. That means she's yours now." I stopped sleeping after that. I moved my bed into the living room, but it didn't help. The sound followed me. The dragging was closer. Sometimes I'd find wet streaks on the ceiling above me. Sometimes I'd wake up with dirt under my fingernails, my feet muddy, like I had been walking outside, but the door was locked, always locked. One morning, I woke up and found the mirror in my hallway cracked. In the center of the spiderweb cracks, someone had written in the steam, "Why me?" Only this time, the handwriting wasn't shaky. It was mine. My handwriting. I didn't remember writing it. I didn't even remember standing there. But the toothbrush was still wet in my hand, and my face looked pale. My eyes, my own eyes, looked like they had aged 10 years overnight. I started to realize something. It wasn't just a ghost. It was something else. Something older. Something sadder. Something that needed someone to remember it. And I did. Every night at 3:17, I remembered. I finally called a priest. He refused to enter the apartment. He just stood at the doorway and said, "She's not asking you a question. She's giving you an answer." An answer to what? I asked. He looked at me, pity in his eyes. To what they asked her when she died. To what she asked God when no one came to help her. To the silence she heard as she lay on the floor with her walker tipped over. He stepped back. "Now it's your turn." Last night, the dragging stopped. I thought maybe it was over. Maybe she moved on. Maybe she found peace. But when I woke up, my hands were wet. My floor was covered in scratches. And my ceiling? My ceiling had new marks. They weren't coming from upstairs anymore. They were coming from below. There was a note waiting for me by the sink this morning. It said, "Why me, Nora?" And below that, written in a different handwriting, one I don't remember ever using, read, "Because you heard her." Thank you for staying until the end of the show. I appreciate you giving me some of your time, and I look forward to seeing you again. If you can tell me what you enjoyed about today's episode, that will help me so I can know what things to give you more of. This story came from Reddit user Haunting Minute 5103. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and tell them thank you for letting me read it. But if you want to hear a story that I wrote, well, you can just go check out the previous video for that. I plan to record my own stories once or twice a week, but I'll still read submissions from others as well. And if you want to listen to more of my voice, you can listen to all the episodes in this series here. This is typically the part of the show where I tell you how you can find me on Spotify and other places, but part of the reason I was gone for so long was because Spotify actually took down my entire show. According to them, I was uploading content from Inviso Dark when I wasn't allowed to, even though I am Inviso Dark. I tried to fight them to give me back my show for a few months, but I got no hopeful or useful reply from them, and they literally told me there was nothing I can do, and they denied all of my appeals to get my show back. So, that's why you haven't seen as much of me as of recent, but worry not, because until I find a solution, YouTube will be my home for now, where you can catch my daily, yes, you heard right, daily episodes of chilling stories from the dark. That's me. I'm the dark, by the way. And if you have a story that you would like to recommend to me, you can reach out to me via Reddit, Discord, or email. The information will be in the description of this video down below. Again, if you enjoyed today's episode, tune in for the next story or just go back and watch the last one. But until then, I hope you watch the shadows that lurk just beyond your sight. Thank you for listening, and to all, a good night.